Welcome back to Valley Boys TCG. I'm CK, and today we're starting our first episode of the Board State podcast. So, joining me right now, I have Ivan and James. What's up, guys?
Nope.
What's going on?
So, first episode, and these two guys are also joining us for Valley Boys. Like I mentioned in our channel update, we're expanding the channel, so we're gonna have more people bringing in content, more people to talk about stuff. Hopefully, Waylon might be coming back and doing some stuff on Magic the Gathering or any other game that he may be involved in. And as other card games come out throughout the year, we all like to dabble and look into different things. So we'll see what else we bring. Obviously, we started off with Digimon, so Digimon's going to be kind of the main focus early on, but eventually we're going to try to branch out and bring some other things. So first things first, I guess we just dive right in and talk about this weekend was Nationals,
The big
and these two
elephant in the
guys made
room.
it all the way to Cali.
Yeah,
So,
it's a
and you guys want to jump in,
very
talk about your
long,
experience?
very long trip.
Some
I
longer than
mean,
others.
getting over there was pretty easy.
Yeah, I
When
agree.
we
That
got
was
there,
really
it was raining in Cali the whole time, pretty much until we left. So I mean, we were getting there expecting it to be sunshine, and
Oh yeah.
we got rain, and it was pretty cold the whole time. But still, even then, while we were there, it was Nationals was awesome. There was a ton of people. I know Ivan left a little earlier than I did, and Jonathan did. And it was a great time. I met a ton of people. I met some people from San Antonio also, actually,
Really.
and the
Okay.
Austin scene also. So those guys were pretty cool also, and in a lot, they were all playing in the side events and stuff. So
I think there was a guy from the DFW area that was in top 16 or something like that.
Oh shit.
Uh,
Oh
yeah, I think
nice.
we had a Texas boy up in the top spots if I remember right. I remember seeing something like that. Some of the DFW areas making it too. So Texas made it up there. Texas represent.
Texas did represent actually, because there was a lot of people that I was hearing that they're from Texas, like this
Same.
Texas player top, this Texas player top.
Same. A lot of
So
my
I
opponents.
actually was hearing that a lot of Texas players topped also.
Yeah, a lot of my opponents were like, "Oh, you're from Texas? You're like the seventh one or something like that."
I mean, Texas is the biggest state, so I guess
Yeah.
we got good players apparently. So
Oh yeah, and that's what a lot of them were saying too. They were like, "Oh yeah, there's a lot of good players in Texas apparently." And I'm like, what I told them was like, "Yeah, because we have different scenes. You have the Dallas area, you have Houston, you have our area. We have four different scenes in our area now. So
True.
all an hour away from each other, so 30 minutes away. So I mean that's just in our area, four different scenes. So Houston and Dallas are a lot bigger than we are.
Hmm.
And then on top of that, you got San Antonio, Austin also. So I mean, there's a good amount of scenes, here in Texas, just within our area, and all over Texas in general.
yeah. I mean, even the Valley, we had quite a decent amount of players make it up there, and that's because I wouldn't consider us a big scene. We have enough to get by. Like we're not by no means a small scene. We have two or three different cities in the Valley that are each bringing in 10 to 15 players for their tournaments. They're not. There's not too many weeks where there's nobody showed up. There's usually enough down here, so we're not a huge scene, but we are lucky enough to have a decent player base, I guess.
No, and hopefully, from what I'm seeing, hopefully next year, Nats, more of our people go, like more of the valley places that are getting their band. I think like they're getting they'll be able to. They're sponsored. They're getting.
They're able to,
They're
yeah, they're able
Host.
to host more
yeah,
door champs and stuff.
or champs and stuff like that, and hopefully be able to get more people to go and just have a big group. Like the more the merrier.
Oh yeah, party busted up there.
Yeah, see, I seen that. It was cool just seeing all the Brownsville people, all of us, just meeting up later, like in between the rounds, meeting up, and that felt very nice.
Yeah, yeah,
A
because
camaraderie.
the whole valley scene, we're stretched out about an hour away from each other, roughly. I think from McAllen to Harlingen is kind of the midway point, but even then, I would say that's closer to Brownsville than it is to McAllen. It's what, like
Yeah,
40, 45 minutes from us. and then another 20 minutes to Brownsville, roughly. So Brownsville and Harlingen scene, I think, are a little closer together than the McAllen one. But yeah, even then, I mean, we've just about everybody's kind of already played together. We've all
Yeah.
familiar with each other. We try to go back and forth. So it's good to see the valley kind of come together, even if there's small like city or county rivalries, whatever it is. Like once once y'all went to Cali, it was kind of like okay, we're the valley, we're a whole group now. So
Yeah.
it's nice
Yeah,
to see.
And it
for
was
sure. Yeah,
awesome.
it was.
We were all trying to boost each other up. Like, you got this. Bring it home. Like, one more round. One more round. You got that. You're still in this. So that
Yeah.
that felt really nice.
Oh yeah, definitely. And speaking of bringing it home, Ivan, you got good placing this time around. You beat your record, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Last year's Nats, I got, I believe, 108. I got 108. So I got top 128 pricing. Didn't make it a day two either. Because, I mean, last year I felt like it would have meant more to me. I was playing Jesma. Jesma's
Yeah.
my boy. And a sea of blue friendships. So I'm like, that would have meant more. So this year I made top 128, got 42nd after Swiss. I went X2, lost my round one against Grandis, and lost my round eight against Blackwar Mirror.
Blackboard Mirror.
Great person though, great player. We were having fun just messing around, playing. Honestly, the best game of the best set. Um, but yeah, he actually ended up getting top 32.
Oh, nice,
Ended up
nice.
with ending overall 19th. That was his
Okay.
overall placing. So I mean, what else can you say? You lost to a top 32 player.
Yeah, I mean you can't complain about that. And
Yeah, and it wasn't
go
a
ahead.
blowout. Like, it was a great game. Back and forth, back and forth. We went into turns. In turn two. So had I been able to bring it back to me, push for a draw, yeah, I wouldn't have won. I could have pushed for a draw to try to help my record, but it's fine. Like, great. I have no issues in losing. It was fun.
Yeah, yeah. And the close games are what's important. And the funny thing is your first round was the you played against that a blue Grandis, right?
Yeah, I got
Which is
wrecked by Sorai, like, so
and that's
bad.
that blue Grandis is the one that won or a similar deck. A blue Grandis won. Was it Oceania? I think.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you
Yeah,
sent
I
it.
believe it
You
was
sent it to
Ocean.
our chat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got rolled. I was both times. I pressed the win button on X, and he's like, "All right, I'll wait a turn." Sorai ripped the four sources, and he just proceeded to win. I'm like, "Alrighty then."
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't even realize that blue Grandis was a thing. I hadn't heard of the deck or hadn't seen the deck at all. So that's pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
Mostly what I saw from Blue Grandes back in the day was, or just in general was, the Davises, and then they throw in blue hybrids. That's as far
Yeah,
as I had seen. I had never seen, the
Uh,
Sorais in there because,
this guy was
that's
like,
when it gets a little. That's when it gets a little bricky when you start adding blue options and you don't have your blue tamers out there. So
yeah,
yeah, that's actually how I won my game too. I was like, kill the blue tamers, kill the blue tamers. So he couldn't Sorai or Megadeth because he actually ran Megadeth as well.
yeah. And that Megadeth was it's such an annoying. It's hard to get around. I mean, a little
Mhm.
easier now. Blackboard Gray X has
The
a
one
few
turn
ways to get around
immunity.
it, but
Yeah, it has the one turn immunity. It has the protection. So yeah,
Yuya.
yeah,
yeah,
that's why the one turn immunity with Yuya and the. I mean, you can spam it.
Yeah, there's ways to get around it. Like
Yeah.
you can play around it, but it's kind of hard.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, because
definitely.
if he has it, then he has it. If you don't have protection that turn, and he does it, then it's like, okay, well,
hmm
that
Like,
happened.
Blackwater isn't the most aggressive deck out there, or at least the way I built it, it's not the most aggressive deck. But they can take their time. Where it's like, all right, I have a turn. You know what? Let's wait, or let's try to set up lethal in some way, shape, or form. Okay. So now I do it, and now I win. That's why Blackwater. That's why
So,
I think this meta is
Yeah,
fun. Um,
as you run
Blackboard's more
more.
control than anything.
That's what I was gonna say.
Agreed.
You run more control. I think I know I've seen some people throw out the promo Black or Gray build for a more
Oh yeah,
aggressive.
yeah.
And I don't know if you noticed that I was just looking at it because apparently now that Black War Gray X promo is the most expensive Black War Gray to get now. It's like $8 or something. It's shot up because people are,
Really,
Really?
yeah,
really.
the promo
Well,
that
okay.
what
The
3 days
reason the
ago
promo
nobody
went
cared
up,
for.
yeah, the reason the promo went up is because it was in the winning list. So he
Yeah,
actually,
Oh,
the
okay.
guy who won nationals, he was running the promo Black War Gray instead of the BT8 Black War Gray that pops
Oh,
tamers.
right.
fair.
So he actually didn't use it much either, from what I heard. And I actually talked to a couple players that actually played him,
Hmm.
and they said a lot of the times he would just go into Gaiomon
I mean,
and
let's
he
be
would
honest
just
here.
swing. He would just swing over their, the bodies. He was more of a control type kind of player, unless he knew, he was
It
playing
was
a
safe to
certain
go
deck
in.
that had no security bonds. Yeah. So he would just clear boards, and that's exactly what he did in the final game. You saw it, like he was just attacking his opponent's
I didn't see it, but I did hear
game.
like what ended up sealing the game, and I mean, but that's what the deck does. You play,
Yeah, he used Hades Force, and that
yeah,
pretty much sealed
you
the
time
Yeah.
game
the Hades
for
Force for
against
a board
Crossheart.
wipe, and you time the Hades Force, and you just win.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
think that
so
was the funny thing is that the stream because I got to see a bit of the streams. There was some pretty fun stuff that happened on stream. I think the big thing was one that Hades forced to seal it. Everybody saw that coming, and or when everybody saw that hit, that was like, okay, that's it. It's over. This is the big scary moment that Crossheart was supposed to be afraid of, and everybody was a lot of people were kind of rooting for Crosshearts because Black War Gray X came
It's a
into
big
this
baddie.
as the big bad, yeah.
It's a big
But
baddie.
I think the other big thing that happened on one of the previous games or one of the previous matches was that turn two blue flare.
Oh yeah, I saw
Yeah,
like
that was
a
yeah,
clip of it.
crazy.
I saw a clip of it, and
That was crazy.
I'm like,
yeah. That
okay.
that turn two play to just wipe. It's like wow. I mean,
It was so simple. Like it
yeah,
wasn't even
exactly.
crazy.
It wasn't, and that's what the crazy thing about it was
Hmm.
like the setup was super basic. There was nothing out of the ordinary about it, and it's nothing that you can't do. Like if you have that build, you just draw those cards. That's very easy to do and very hard out unless they hit a security bomb. But I mean that was just the simplest turn two win of it. I mean I don't think I've seen many decks that can pull off a turn two even in the OTK format. We're still talking about turn three or four usually in OTK, and I think that turn two was just crazy, and and like you said, it was so simple. And I think that's what made it so crazy was that it was
Yeah,
so simple.
cross metal gray in rush, metal gray X,
With
swing for
security,
three.
it's
Yeah,
crazy.
with security plus, swing for three
Yeah,
checks. The following turn, swing for two. Rookie, you're rookie in the racing. Vámonos, you just win.
yeah, yeah. It was awesome. Uh, Blue Flare's one that I've had there for the longest time that I've never got to play, and I'm tempted to bring it back, but I've got so many decks that I want to bring back. And I mean, like y'all know me, I have way too much. I have more decks than I have time to actually play. I hardly get to make it out anymore. But I've got what 40 decks, literally 40 decks built right here next to me right now. I'm working on the jank videos. We just launched the Suka Mamemon one. Mamemon's one that I've always loved for a while. I'm in the middle of. I'm actually testing out the Mirage Gaugamon just because it's one of those decks that nobody's going to play, so I have to play it myself to really figure out how it plays.
For now, for now.
For now,
Wait
yeah,
till
that
burst mode.
burst
Wait
mode,
till
yeah.
burst mode.
When that burst mode drops, that's going to be fun too. But I think once the
For
burst modes
sure.
drop, everybody's going after shine mode, shine and ruin mode.
Time. Rim.
Yeah.
That's it. Is for like another topic, but because there's so much stuff
Oh
going
yeah.
on.
There is a lot going on, but
Yeah.
you know, at, right now it's more of a casual deck. I would say a lot of the
Yeah,
stuff I play is casual, and that can bring us into the to next. I don't know. That'll we'll
Hmm.
use that to segue into the next topic. But before we get into that, anything else y'all want to share about your nationals experience or anything? Any good stories from the weekend?
our first night. Oh my god, my god, we got a workout. That says that next time we all decided as a group we need to plan things better, get a hotel that is much closer. the
Yeah,
venue.
so what ended up happening was so we got there a day earlier than what we actually planned for because we all left on Thursday
Must have
and
been
we actually got a hotel for Friday, until Sunday. So when we first got there, we were like, well, okay, we're gonna sleep at the airport and then we'll go check in tomorrow morning and then we'll go to the hotel and chill. That's not how it turned out. We ended up not being able to stay at the hotel because we heard that there was people.
they
Yeah,
were
you have to
checking.
have like your boarding pass, and
Yeah,
so
they
they
were
were
checking.
going around checking people's boarding pass. They're like, okay, well, they're gonna do that, so let's go ahead and leave, and let's find a hotel that's close by. We'll stay the night there. The next morning, we'll take an Uber to
Or actual
the
hotel where they're
convention
thinking.
center, and we'll take all our stuff with us. We didn't have much, but we would take our stuff with us, and then after that, we would check in, go to the hotel. Well, that line there at Nationals, there was a ton of people there already by the time we got there,
That's because we got there early.
and that's because we got there pretty early, yeah.
Like the
And
venue
we ended
opened at
up waiting. We ended up waiting like
a lot.
what was it, like four
Yeah,
hours maybe in that line just to check in.
yeah.
And they started side events at 12, and we got there at 8. We didn't get out of line until like 3.
Oh yeah.
Oh
So we
wow.
were already like, yeah. And the day before
Um,
that, we had to walk to the hotel because we had left the airport because we walked to a hotel,
and with
which
the
was
freezing
like,
weather, it was bad.
yeah, and it was raining over there, so we were kind of like walking in the cold. And then we ended up not being able to stay at the first hotel because they were filled already. So then we found another one, and I called to make sure that they had rooms. So
And they
then we
almost didn't.
walked like a mile and a half to go to the next hotel. And by that time, like, it's cold, raining, and it's a mile walk that we're walking, and we didn't think it was that far, to begin with, but we
And
found out real
40
quick
minute
that,
walk.
yeah, it was a 30-minute walk, and yeah, we were pretty tired after that. We got to the hotel, checked in, and just knocked out.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Jeez. Yeah.
yeah, for sure next year we need to plan a little better. Plan
Oh
to
yeah.
Maybe get a
have
big
a
group
hotel for
and
the night that we actually get there.
you might have to try Airbnb next time or something. Get a big group.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, yeah.
But
But I
overall,
mean, other than that, everything else was good. I was super proud of Ivan.
thank you.
I scrubbed out pretty early. I was not drawing hot at all. My game one, I drew super hot, and I was playing against Melga, and I beat him turn three, game two, and that dude was pretty salty, and he picked up his stuff and just walked off. He didn't even say good game or anything. I was like, bro, it's round one. Like, come on.
Just started.
but but after that, like it was all downhill from there. I played another Melga player. I wasn't expecting to play Melga back to back that early. Like I was expecting to play it later on. But I mean, I played it back to back, and I ended up losing to that Melga, and then after that, it was all downhill from there. I was drawing pretty bad, but that's how it works sometimes. Sometimes you draw hot, sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the build that I was using for Grandis was a lot slower than the other builds because I was using the actual X line, so.
Excellent, yeah.
It was working well in testing against Ivan. It
Hey,
didn't
hey,
work
hey.
so well there.
Stop it. Stop it.
But I just want to say I'm super proud of Ivan, and it's super cool to see him there get 42nd place out of the 1,000 people that were there. There was a total of
Oh yeah.
1,001 players.
Yeah.
So shout out to him, and
Thank you.
congrats for that. Top 128.
And I,
Top 120, top
yeah, I didn't
64.
expect this at
Just
all. Like
yeah.
TK said, my
I
goal
even yeah.
top 100. I gotta say, I'm looking at my matchups right now, and I'm like, I do not have an easy one. I mean,
Yeah.
if you consider cross easy, because I mean it is, but it can still go wrong. My matchups were,
It can be easy. We'll
yeah, it can
say
still
yeah.
go wrong. I
Yeah.
played against Brandis, which I lost 2-1 in his favor. X7 2-0 in Black War 2-0. Secon 2-0. Black War 2-1. Another Black War 2-0. On 7 was against Cross 7. So this is already like already seeing Cross in the top table. So then I was like, that's crazy. Like that you're actually seeing this deck who was supposed to have a really bad matchup, who does have
Yeah.
a really bad matchup, but they're here. That speaks
Yeah.
volume to both the decks and the players. That speaks so much.
Oh yeah, because they had to fight their way because
Oh
Blackboard
yeah,
was there to
yeah.
pop all the tamers, and they had to fight their way. And there was, I mean, we had one at the very end. So clearly,
Hmm?
even in a sea of Blackboard Gray, it's still
No,
the
no,
pilot
bro.
can
The
make it.
crazy thing is after the hit, after it's
Yeah,
hit, it's still there.
yeah.
And then my
Without the
round
cross
eight,
four.
I got 2-1. That I know I got 1-2. That's when I lost. The last round nine, I 2-0'd the last Blackboard mirror. Like, I was telling the guys, I'm like, where are my Garu matchups? Where's my rogue? I'm like,
Yeah,
where are these
You could take
matchups?
mine. You could
I know.
take
I
mine.
was like, James would have gladly taken mine because I mean I had Black Warriors and he was like, I'll just roll them. But overall, great event. It was run actually really smooth. It was just moving. Like the
It
TOs. It
was
was
pretty
amazing.
quick. Yeah.
The only thing I
Nothing
will
compared
say,
to what I heard of, like how Digifest was. I heard Digifest, it was horrible.
yeah,
Here, they did everything really good. We didn't have to use an app or anything. You know, they had the standard. You sign the paper, your opponent signs the paper, who won. You submit it, and they do everything else on their side. It
the
was
only thing I will say
pretty
that
great, actually.
ran a
so
little
it's,
bit like rough was the side events. Participated in
yeah,
any because I was still
I
going
heard
in the
that.
main event, but the side events were a little bit rough when it came to like I want to say product.
So the funny thing you say that it was on paper is the fact that an event based on digital monsters worked better with an analog's paper system as opposed to the digital system. So
Yes,
it's
for
the irony
sure.
of it.
Yeah.
So that's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
So, oh, and now like how most you would expect to see meta like left and right, but nah, man, there was some definite like casual or rogue decks. I know for a fact, in around 6 or 7, not I saw a poop deck in the top 32 table.
oh wow,
A poop deck. I'm
Yeah.
like,
yeah,
Yep.
but like it's not like it doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter. A
yeah.
better deck, fine. But if you can pilot deck, if you're a good pilot, you can get to those top tables. It's
Oh
a top
definitely.
32 poop deck.
Yeah, the pilot and understanding the pilot understanding their deck and their matchups can do so much more than an inexperienced pilot just running meta. And a lot of
Yeah,
people like to just say,
I
"Oh, well,
agree.
it's a meta deck. Well, it's a meta deck." No, the deck really doesn't matter. It comes down to the pilot. Like you said, I mean, so there's a little bit of luck to it. Obviously, drawing the right hand, getting the good line, and all that stuff, but the pilot has to know how to work out of a bad hand, how to work the matchups. Clearly, like we said, on paper, Black or Gray X is a nightmare against Crossheart, but Crossheart was still up there. They were there in the finals. So
Second place.
the
Second
the
place here
pilot,
and first place in Europe.
yeah, the Euro was
So
first
it
place.
won the
Yeah,
European national. So it's like,
yeah. So and again, sea of Black or Gray that's going to come for it. But now, yes, I will say obviously they're the big bad of the set. Everybody was looking forward to either play it or play against it. So I think a lot of hype coming into it helped a lot of people prepare for it as well. So they've kind of found some loopholes around it, some ways to work around with whatever they wanted to play. But it varies. It definitely varies, and the pilot I think means the most. The
yeah,
most important
in
part is the
these,
pilot.
because this is we're kind of lucky. It depends how you see it, right? We're kind of lucky. We know what's coming up. We know what's gonna be the best deck in BT12, 4, in BT13, blah blah blah. We know what's gonna be the best deck because we get them like 2 3 months afterwards. So we're lucky in the way that we know what's coming up. Players that those players can adapt. Players can adapt. They can mix. They can change their deck around to try and counter to the best of their abilities. In the
Yeah,
end, like you said, playing the best deck, yes, it does give you an edge, right? It's the best deck. But if you're not good at it, if you haven't practiced, if you haven't given the time, then you're not gonna get the best out of it. You can still beat a good pilot with a deck can still beat a great deck with a mediocre pilot.
Right, right, to your point, the fact that we know what's coming out already, we know what's coming out ahead of time. Um, it yes, and yeah, I agree with that. We kind of know the meta going into it ahead of time, but North America does have its own slight variation of the meta. Like it's where security control really took off. You know, that's where it broke away. But I think as the set, like early on, it was easy to say, "Oh, our meta is different than the Japanese format." But I think as more sets have come out and we've kind of really fallen into the same card pool of cards that they have with just small variances now, because I think going forward, it's either a new, complete new style of deck or it's support. And it's no longer like we're not going to have house security control and we have these other random decks built that North America had that Japanese format didn't really have. Melga really took off over here because they didn't really a lot of areas didn't have access to the promos over there. So I think now that they're opened up with the promos, yeah, Melga has a chance over there, but it's already too late for them. I think. I do see that. I do believe, like like you're saying, that we are gonna kind of get a heads up of what's coming up in the next sets, what the next meta is, because now that we're so far into these sets, everybody we're not that different from the Japanese meta. So
Yeah.
the old saying that, oh well, the North America format isn't necessarily the same as Japanese format, yes, to an extent, but for the bulk part of it, yeah, we kind of mirror it pretty well.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, I know James can attest to this because I know he played that deck. Green OTK when it first came out. It wasn't a thing in Japan because we got that promo first,
Yeah,
and that was also a deck that could like just kill out of nowhere. It was just like a lot. Chaosmon, run over you dude, Pierce, and OTK, right? But like our metas can be different because of our like overall our style of play. I've noticed that usually, at least in other card games that I've played, Japan tends to be a more control based style. They play more control. While NA are usually combo based. But you can tell where you're from by the deck you're by the identity.
yeah,
So that has to speak a lot. Like maybe security control isn't that popular over there because it does have to do with like best of one formats. Maybe it's
yeah,
not that popular. Over here is really popular because it's not easy to pilot. It does have its really technical little interactions. People have
hmm
played it for many many months. It's the same thing with Milga. That's why you still see Milga game side 2 times in a row, back to back. It's still the deck. It still gets the job done. It's still good. That's why I like this game. We're getting to a point where every deck can win. Every deck is good. You can go back 2, 3 formats in the. I can play Imperial if I wanted to. Ooh, good? Maybe. Did I win every game? Probably not. There's power creep. I can
yeah,
still go back and play it. I can still try it.
And it just loses hard to certain decks. Like,
Like the best deck.
yeah, exactly.
And
yeah,
like, that's why I like this game. This game has so much personality. My friend Jose, you guys know him.
yeah,
You know that he's a great technical player. He's learned a lot. But that guy has only played meta like once. Because le tocó. He ended up picking up the yellow stuff in BT1. Mine ended up coming in BT 1.5 or BT 3, whenever that second set. And he had everything. So he was playing Shine. That was a meta deck. But ever since then, he just plays what he wants to play.
He played
Played,
Commandromon also.
yeah. I mean, Commandromon, yeah, you're right.
Was
Commandromon
meta
was meta,
in
yeah, you're right, you're right,
yeah,
PT6.
you're right. Yeah, but he just plays what he wants to play.
Definitely.
Commandromon.
yeah,
Getting really lucky
Yeah.
because the pretty much the mascot, like one of the mascots of Digimon, Machinedramon, just gets support like every single set.
yeah.
So
Every set.
every set, every Metal Greymon is Machinedramon support at this point.
You're trying
So
to
Yeah.
make it good.
See, I think Machine
hey,
Dramon, where Machine
we got
Dramon is
there.
right now, is where Alphamon was at some point, where Alphamon kept getting support, and
Oh,
then boom, now it's
Yes.
good, and then it had
yeah.
to get hit, and now we're in
eventually,
that same point.
eventually,
Yeah,
eventually it'll be good. And they got
yeah,
there. They got there.
Yeah, Machine Dramon got there, and it still gets support in the next set. We get the X antibody,
Yeah.
so
Yep.
well that's I think this kind of jumps us into the next or the third talking point. We'll switch it around. We'll go to third, and that is the state of the meta, right? In the state of the BT11. How do you feel about this meta of BT11? And I think you brought up a good point of play what you want to play, and I definitely by that same mindset. You guys know me. I've jank all the way. And jank doesn't necessarily mean bad. A lot of people think, oh, he's playing the bad jank deck is not a bad deck. Rogue decks aren't necessarily bad decks. You just like to basically you're playing on hard mode for yourself. But when in my experience, it's so much more satisfying to win that way. But that's just my own personal take. But I think going into this meta, the BT11, yes, Black or Gray is kind of the big thing everybody's going to be talking about and everybody wants to play. But I think with a lot of the showings at Nationals, I think Machine German gets boosted, Cross Hearts gets more respect. Blue Flare, that turn 2 Blue Flare combo is going to make a lot of people look at it again. But I think I like the meta going into this. I think there's going to be a good amount of diversity.
Oh man, that top 32 offers gave me hope.
Yeah, you got your old forces ready.
Yeah, top 32 offers. I mean, because you can just get ready. You can try it. I mean, yes, it's a bad matchup. It's the best deck, but like, oh my god, just look at our format though.
See, that's the thing with this meta though, BT11 that I see is there's a ton of good decks. There's Old Force is a really good deck. Whether you like it or not, whether you don't think it's a good deck, it's a fucking really good deck. And it's crazy what it can do. It can, end you in a whole turn. Like once you have your tamers there and everything, you play your tamers, you have your arenas, it just goes off. It's a really good deck. And then you have stuff like, Blue Flare, it's still really good. It's really aggressive. You have Rush, you have the Armor Purge stuff, the Sec Plus, all that stuff. Bloom Lord is still a really, really good deck, and it's going to get more support coming into BT12.
And I think
Quartzmon is crazy.
The Palmon and the Vegemon from this set, I think, are nice additions to it.
Yeah,
yes, and those are really good. Yeah, if you don't get rid of them, then your opponent's going to get they're going to plus off of it. They're going to get plus memory and plus draw off of it. So those are really good also. And then all the OTK decks, they're all good. Grandis is a really good deck to answer Black War Gray. But if you take Black War Gray out of the picture, like there's a lot of really good. Yeah, you can't if Black War Gray wasn't a deck, Nationals would have been crazy, man. Nobody would have been. There wouldn't have been as many Black War Grays. We would have seen Baelstar, more Baelstars, more Setcon, more Melgas probably.
I do think that without Black War, the deck that would edge out everything else would be Cross, Merva, and the X7 support that I got.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Then people would start teching. The more Death Eggs, more of the cost blockers. So this meta, in my opinion,
and that's another thing. Everybody stopped playing Death X. Like I didn't see a single Death X
what happened to Death X
at all.
What happened to Death X?
The death of
Death X was just not played. There were so many Crossheart players. If somebody had a really good, deck. I mean, besides Primitive that got top 32, he was playing Baelstar. He was playing
crazy.
Yeah.
He was playing 2 Death X, and I'm sure he beat a lot of cross players. I'm not sure who he played in top 32, because I was doing side events and all that other stuff at that time. But he got top 32 with Baelstar. And he had Death X in there. I'm sure he played some Shoutmon players and plussed off of that. But Death X was a card that I was not seeing at all in Nationals.
It was one of the biggest complaints.
People here and there.
One of the biggest complaints of BT10 and EX3. Death X. My deck can't compete because of Death.
Everybody was like, "Oh, Death X needs to get hit. Death X needs to get hit."
Yeah, and then there's
now it's not even played anymore.
It
not even playing it anymore.
It became a meme where people were like, "Oh, you have this is my spicy tape
on
the deck," and it's like Spice is Death X. Everybody just sprinkled Death X. And now it's like, well, we lost that flavor. That's it. Shortage.
Yep.
Yes, that's no longer
and it was quick. Death X was here for how many sets? 1 set. 2 sets.
Two sets.
If you want to count EX3. If you want to count EX3, I guess.
Well, I mean, It dropped in 9. Yeah, it dropped in
Yeah.
9. So 9,
Oh,
10,
it
and
dropped in there.
EX3.
Okay, I
Yeah.
guess
So
two
two and a half.
technical
Let's
sets
say two and a
and
half
then
sets.
an EX set.
Yeah.
It was in two formats, BT9 and BT10 EX3. Like that's
Yeah.
one thing. It was in
Yeah.
two
Yeah, because
formats.
10 and EX3 were kind of the same format. There wasn't
Yeah.
enough distance between them, I would say.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Um, but yeah, I agree. And the funny thing is, a lot of like the decks uh, in this new set support things. They present themselves as their own style, but they're definitely supportive of other decks. Like the Tyrannomon. Everybody was like, "Oh, Tyrannomon support," and then when you look into those cards, you start thinking, "This is green hybrid support." Like this is a lot of this is green hybrid support, plain free green tamers and all this
Yeah.
stuff, bonuses
The
for green
GG mod
hybrid.
too.
The
GG mod,
GG
like,
Mon
oh my
was a big
god.
thing. Another funny thing that I hadn't even thought about, like the Mamemon was in that deck, was kind of for Tyrannomon and or playing the free green or black tamer. I loved it. I found it really good in my janky Mamemon build. I'm like,
Mhm.
at first I was like, oh, it's another Mamemon, throw it in. But when I really got, oh, okay, I go into my Bancho, I get some Mamemons out and get some blockers off of it, get the tamers to get Izzy's and all this stuff to gain a memory back. Like there was a good. It actually became really strong combo pieces for the. And then what I've seen people do is actually take that Mamemon and put it in Justimon decks,
Oh,
because
makes sense.
Justimon needs
Hmm.
to search for the
Gamer
Black
heavy.
Tamers.
Gamer
And
heavy.
I had not thought about that until I started watching some gameplay video from Vortex TCG. He plays a
Mhm.
lot of Justimon, and I saw him put that in there, and I was like, that makes so much sense. I never thought of it. You won't get the play something inherited and give it blocker, but you get that free tamer, which is what you need for the
That could
Justimon
be
deck.
good. That could be like really good in like a security version. I know I played that
Yeah,
once. A security version
yeah,
with Justy. And it was
yeah,
good. Like you just like swing like 4 times for no
yeah.
good reason. That could be good there. That could be
Yeah.
a thing.
Yeah. So yeah, it's inadvertent support that you don't think of. The Mirage Galgamon that not a lot of people are playing right now. Or nobody's probably playing right now except testing with it. I've been trying to build it, mess with it,
I
see what I
gotta
like. And I've seen
I
people compare it.
gotta build.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Well, there we
that's
go.
actually
Well, we're
Leo
gonna we're
Mon.
gonna
It's not
look into.
necessarily Mirage Guile, but he's the top end of it.
Okay, I got you.
You just say Leomon, dude. That's how you're gonna play.
See, I'm messing with the Leomon because there is some Leomon support in the set, and so I was messing with Leomon, and I was actually thinking like, can you bring back that Dino Tigermon, because Tigermon gets rid of tamers, and that's another way to
Yeah.
you,
Oh, the green dude,
yeah, it's
or
Yeah, the
the
bottom deck
green.
tamers or something like that, right?
it's, yeah, you bottom deck a Digimon and a tamer or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's basically the Leo X antibody, I think,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
what it was
Okay.
trying to be. So I was looking into that as a Leo top end, trying out things, but um, I heard people compare the Mirage Galgamon because of how the deck plays and
Hmm.
combos and restands and all that stuff as kind of the budget
Memory game.
value, or the budget Ul Force basically, or the
I can see it.
generic brand Ul Force. But it kind of plays some different things, different style. There's some similarities, but there's differences to how having to give your opponents bounce things to their hand, and the bounce things to their hand kind of makes me think a little bit of blue hybrid. Blue hybrid
Oh,
does a
okay.
lot of bounce to hand, so that could be another way to go with the build. I haven't looked at that. I've just gone pure
The
uh
Magnagaru,
Gao. Yeah, yeah,
the
the
Magnagaru,
Magnagaru.
Yeah.
the Koji.
And
Yeah,
Beowulf.
Yeah,
the
the
Beowulf.
Beowulf. But I'm right now, my build's just kind of straight the normal Galgamon line. But one thing I have liked in that deck as a tech is the new Penguin Mon, where you on play tuck something under.
Oh,
So what?
the sea animal support.
Well, not just for Sea Animal, for the actual Galgamon line, because the old Galgamon is Digiburst to draw a card. So
Huh?
you can hard play the Penguin Mon, tuck under the Gaomon that does the Digiburst, and then go into the level 4, and now you have two sources to Digiburst. You don't need an egg to Digiburst. You've
And
tucked
you
it,
get it,
and
and
you
you
get
get
it
it
right
back.
back. Yeah,
Huh?
exactly.
True.
So that little Penguin Mon actually has some fun stuff. Obviously, it's good for the Sea Animal stuff, which I love Aegis-Stramon, and I'm probably gonna. I'm working on rebuilding him right now. I'll probably do a video again soon, or gameplay when I get to bring it out. who knows? Maybe we'll work on it this weekend.
Yeah,
This
I know
Friday.
Jonathan, the third member that went with us
Yeah,
to nationals. He likes his fishes también.
yeah. Fishes is fun. I may bring. I might try it
Mhm.
on Friday or. Uh, I have the sea animals that I want to bring back, the fishes, marching fishes, if you will, and then the Shoutmon DX. Trying to
Hey,
the
you took
new
that tournament
support.
with Shaban DX, bro. That's
Yeah,
crazy. That's
yeah, and
crazy.
we talked about you know you give me a jank shout everybody when you tell people you're playing Shoutmon they think cross hards. I played DX for the tournament and that worked out for me. The new support actually works for it. The new Omni Shout works pretty well for it. Working on the video for that right now. I'm actually the next gameplay video I'm putting out that I've recorded today is Shoutmon versus Shoutmon, Crossheart versus DX,
Oh, okay.
to see how it plays the dark mirror match, if you will. But I will say one of them was kind of bricky at the end, so it didn't have the climactic ending that I wanted, but still decent just to show what they can both do.
But to circle around to what you asked about our meta, I think our meta, at least, hear me out. Like in a competitive way, our meta is extremely healthy, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Extremely healthy. Yes, I play Black War. Whatever. What of it? It can be beat
Yes.
really easily. It can be beat. But it's extremely healthy. There's so many good decks. So many good decks.
The right deck it can be.
Yeah. Like, okay, you can say we're in a triangle format because before we went to Nets, me, James, and Jonathan, we were like, okay, this is gonna be our format. Black War, obviously. Grandis, because it can beat Black War. Jessamine, because it can beat Black War. Blah 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 blah. Machine Dramon, Aste, all those good stuff. We didn't account for cross. We really
Mhm.
didn't. But it was there.
Yeah.
Our format, at a competitive level, is really, really healthy. How many decks? You saw top 32. Yes. For Black War. Fine. It's not 50%. You can't say it's tier 0 because it's not tier 0, in my opinion.
No.
Tier 0, to me at least, is anywhere from 70 to 80% representation. In
Yeah.
top cut. Like,
Yeah.
like how James said, I was telling him, dude, I haven't seen any Grandis. Maybe at the beginning of the tournament, a lot of Grandises. Their just conversion rate were not good.
Yeah.
It just maybe bricked. Like unfortunately what happened to James. Just brick. It wouldn't want to play. But that doesn't mean it's a bad deck. It doesn't
No.
mean that. It doesn't mean anything. So I think our format is extremely healthy. It
I
could help. Don't get me wrong. Cool boy. It's it, time is up. In my opinion, its time is up. I don't know.
If they hit anything, I think that, you know, people always throw out, oh, hit this, hit that, hit that, hit the Greymon X is one that was up there. I
Yeah.
think the big thing that'll completely mix up the format, it would be the Cool Boy to one, because it doesn't just hit Black War, it levels out all the X antibody, which, let's be honest, I think most of the top is X antibody. I think X antibody has had its really strong run. Melga was running everything. Now Black War is looking, and again, it's X antibody. Grandis, you
Okay.
know,
Okay, CK or James, since you're more on the competitive side. Cool boy to what?
Oh boy, to what?
Yeah, cool boy to what?
Um,
0 to what?
because I,
Because of
because
you.
we haven't seen Digimon do anything besides limit to one or ban.
Hmm?
I think it would have to be limit to one or ban. I
Okay.
think that would have to be the options because I don't see anything getting limited to two,
Because at that
getting
point, it doesn't make
limited.
that much of a difference being at 2, because this game is crazy
Yeah,
fast. But
yeah,
you'll
I
still
agree.
see it like it's like especially in Black Array. You don't
All the
need to
places,
see
all
Cool Boy
everything.
early on. Cool Boy is just pluses. Like
Yes, agreed.
you're
But even
digivolving with your X's, you're drawing your whole deck off of
but
your digivolves. So
now,
Cool Boy is just pluses at that point. So I mean, I
do
don't
you
think it's
think
gonna get banned, but I think it will get limited for sure.
do you think our meta would change if Cool Boy is at 1?
I don't think it would change actually. I don't think it would
My
change
point.
enough.
It's not gonna change. It's not gonna change.
Yeah.
No.
I think
I
if you
don't
limit it to one, I think you're gonna see more Crossheart, Flare, and Ulforce.
Why would you though? 80s
Just
Force is
because
still a thing.
right, but because as soon as whenever a ban list hits, people are so quick to abandon a deck. Like look how
That is
Alphamon
true.
everybody
Yeah,
ran. So
100%.
I,
But
I, I
no,
think for at the beginning, right when the ban list hits, you'll see a big drop, and then people are going to realize, oh, this isn't that big of a hit, and then it'll come back up. I think we'll
yeah.
see the dip, and then it'll plateau back out. Is what I'm thinking.
And at least in my list, I'm looking at it right now. If you were to take away, I run three. You take away two cool boys, fine. I'll add the fourth X ante. I'll add a third Yuya. Let's
Yeah,
go. The deck didn't change.
yeah,
Now, if you care about the format, yes, hit cool boy. If you want to get rid of decks, Greymon X.
yeah,
That card is
yeah.
so good for tempo. It pushes you so much.
Yes, and that's what I was gonna say. If you're looking at X antibody as a whole, it would be the Cool Boys. But if you're
Mhm.
specifically that Black War, I think it has to be the Gray X. I think that's the
Agreed.
main one. That if you just want to target that one deck, but I feel like it's too early to target it. But I mean, look what happened to Cross Four.
Mhm.
Cross Four never even had a chance, and I mean, I get it. It's because that's how it did. In Japan was so dominant. Are they gonna hit it super early on our side again? I would like to let it at least last the format
Okay.
because I think Cross Four should have at least lasted the format. It lasted what 2 weeks, something like that.
So it did not last long.
Yeah.
Now, here's another thing. In my opinion, I don't think this will be Yu-Gi-Oh! Two separate ban lists. One for us,
Yes.
one for TCG, and one for OCG. I don't think this so.
Hmm.
So, what I'm getting at is Black War, not a problem in Japan anymore.
Yeah.
If anything, Beals won the most recent Nats. Their version of Nationals. Beals won one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything.
The new Beelzebub
Yeah.
support is popping up.
And then they have the Hunters. They're then with the Alphamon support, they're really gonna hit Cool Boy. He did.
Yeah.
So,
And that's my thing is I don't think cards need to be banned or need anything like that because it let them they the next set always remedies it anyway. I like
I think
though,
the
but go ahead.
I think the X anti decks, like the problem with them is they're just so fast. All of them are just so fast
they filter
because of
through the
all
deck
the
a lot.
digivolving you're doing. Yeah, like and they've been around for a couple sets now.
I
Um,
get where you're going. It's their
yeah, so like I feel like if they were to try and hit Black War, they would also have to try and hit Grandis, try and hit Melga.
and
If
Garu.
if they don't want to hit Cool Boy or X Antibody, you have to hit all the decks, like all the X Anti decks. Everything else is fine. But
Mhm.
Grandis, Melga, and Black or Gray, if you were to hit Black or Gray, Greymon X, I think you would need to hit promo Wergaru. You would have to hit promo Akuamon.
Cool. Yeah.
And you would have to hit them all at the same time.
Yeah.
Not just one,
You want to move.
not just Greymon X.
Yeah,
A
which is
little
why I
If
think
they
the
want
Cool
to
Boy is the
try
more
and
fair.
Cool
I
Boy.
think
Well,
yeah. Well, the thing is, Grandis doesn't even
the
need Cool
player.
Boy.
Yeah,
this is
exactly.
true. This is true.
Grant,
Well,
if
I
Cool
don't know
Boy
how
gets
to
hit,
solve it.
everybody will just go to Grandis and play Grandis because it doesn't even need Cool Boy.
There's a lot of things here that like you need to think about because it's like business. It's a business first, right? So why would you hit Greymon X when it's gonna push a big part of your next set? Raid Greymon, the Raid Greymon line,
Yeah.
gonna push that. Gonna make that over the top. So why would you hit Greymon X?
You see, and
Cool.
that's another thing. I think even hitting Greymon X, the new Greymon X,
Mhm.
there's still the old Greymon X.
Exactly. You still have protection. You still
It,
have line.
if you hit new Greymon X, everybody will just go back to old
Like,
Greymon
whoa.
X.
And the
So
format.
then, would they have to make it a point to hit both? Maybe hit both Greymon X's. Then that's kind of neutering one of the most popular Digimon in the game,
Yeah.
right?
You
And I
see,
don't
Right.
see
Bandai
Bandai
is,
doing that.
Yeah.
at least
Yeah.
in Bandai's
Definitely.
defense, from what I'm seeing, they are learning from their mistakes.
Yeah.
BT9, in my opinion, I loved it. Alphamon, like my boy, mistake. The raising is too protected. There's nothing you can do to it. There's nothing you can do to it. So you just
Yeah.
build up there, move up, win. That's it. Now You're getting all these effects. You're getting all these pluses because they're giving you when digivolving effects. Greymon or like the deck promotes as soon as a champion. They have their line. They promote. They move up. Um, the Galamon deck that needs to move up. It wants things to digivolve. It wants things in the field. Raid. You promote. You swing. You redirect. Like you have all these things that are promoting interactive play. You have to be on the field in the racing. So they're learning. So
Yeah.
maybe doubt it, right? Maybe there won't be a list anytime soon. Because again, I think we're based off Japan. There won't be a list because of where the game is heading.
Yeah, I get stuff.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I feel like it's hard to compare NA to Japan because they have a best of one that changes a lot. But I mean, if they do go based off of Japan, like Black Ogre is not even in the once the new War Greymon comes out, like Black Ogre is not really a thing anymore. It's just the raid is just better, so everybody swaps over to the new War Greymon stuff. So I mean, and it's a really good deck too. But even then, there's stuff to stop that. Court. You got courts. You got hunters. You got
And
Beelzemon coming out, which is, you know. So
Beelzemon and Hunters, from what I've seen, are getting pretty hot. So, yeah, purple's coming back basically.
Yeah. And was the structure that just got like I guess officially announced for us, right?
Yeah,
March
March 24th.
Yeah.
yeah,
So like,
yes, it did.
Yeah, I'm
that's
excited for
crazy.
that one. I'm excited.
And everybody,
Beelzemon's fun.
everybody loves Beelzemon at our scene.
Oh yeah.
Everybody
Oh
loves
yeah.
Yeah,
him.
dude.
Everybody about to
be
be playing mirrors.
it's gonna be so
bro,
much
nah.
mirrors.
We bring out the boy. We bring out Galamon at that point.
That's what I was gonna say. Everybody's gonna be running Beelzemon, trashing. Ivan's gonna walk in with Gallantmon. Oh, how much in your trash? Okay, game's over.
Game over. Swing.
Yeah. I see that running. Yeah, but it's gonna be fun. And speaking, so let's go into our last little point that was originally the second point, but so we've talked about the meta, we've talked about different decks and seen different things pop up. Casual versus competitive. Okay, this is one that I think a lot of people mistake, and when you hear people, oh, they only play meta over there, they're tryhards and all that stuff like that. I think there's a lot lost with people mistaking casual play and competitive play, and a big portion of it, in my opinion, is like we play at Kaboom. Kaboom hosts 2 Digimon nights, tournament and casual play night. And tournament, I don't care what you play. I think everybody should play what they think gives them the best chance to win. If I'm gonna pay to play, then I want my best chance of getting prizing and getting my money back. So, people say, "Oh, they're playing tryhards or whatever." If but you're it's a tournament. It's a competitive point. So
You are using your hard-earned money.
yes,
You're using it to try and get something out of it. So why wouldn't you give yourself the best chance? And don't get me wrong. One of our best players, James, there was an entire format where he played nothing, no more. I don't remember what format it was. I think it was what BT
It was
9.
BT9.
Right, BT9
Yeah.
in the middle of freaking format. Aru, Alpha. He didn't care. I'm like, I'm playing Leomon. It's fun. It is good. I'm making it work. And he got by God's green earth. He was making it work. And it was like, okay, I guess I'll just die now.
yeah,
I think
Nobody expected Leomon at that time.
yeah.
I was playing
Leomon was
Galamon.
I
big.
won. Yeah.
I was playing Galamon at that
Won
point.
a good amount of tournaments with that.
Yeah.
I was playing Galamon. Dude, I'm like, I have to play. I'll give you the freaking 8 memory. I don't care. I have to play.
Yeah.
At least my side with this little argument, it's play the game however you choose to play the game. And the money, this is a cheap TCG.
Yeah.
One of our second most expensive deck, O-Force. Fine. Our first expensive deck was like Moss Day.
Yeah, for a while.
So you dish out what you want
Still,
to dish out. So you dish out what you
yeah,
want to dish out. You spend the money however you want to see fit.
Yeah, and I also think like uh don't worry about what the other person's playing. If you want to play to have fun, like I go in to play to have fun. You all have seen the decks I've run, and I've had I've had Melga built forever. I've never played it locally. I
Oh,
played
really?
Yeah, I've had Melga there the whole time. I've never played it. I've never played it locally. I've played on casual like online or something like that. Um, uh, I've had Alphamon. I took it out once to locals, and I think it was me and Ivan in the final in the mirror
Oh,
match.
yeah, I
And
remember. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so that was
I
like the one
remember.
time when Alphamon was top. It was me and him in the final. As the only
I remember.
time that like I really went with a meta at the time. I usually don't. I mean, you look at the other videos on this channel, and you can clearly see I don't play uh, too much competitive style. DX worked for me, and that was a tournament style, and that was not the. This was BT10, right? Was 10? Yes. Yeah, your EX3 format, and I ran
EX3,
shout.
yeah,
Yeah,
BT10
and it was
EX3.
Shoutmon DX, not Crossheart DX. It worked for me, um, which is now why I'm trying to see if I can update it because people liked it and or commented asking for updates. So I'm trying to make it still work. I think the new Omni Shot works for it. I still love Mamemon. I haven't let go of that deck. Um, I do need to re-sleeve that deck because I have those spicy jank sleeves on it that I love so
Right.
much, but they're already starting to peel because they were kind of cheap. I guess when I ordered from, they weren't the best quality made, so I need to find new sleeves that are appropriate for it. But Aegis Dramon, I love Aegis Dramon. I'm probably gonna try to run it again because that fish spam is fun, and it because of the new format and what we mentioned, Death X not being around as much, the fish
Yeah.
spam is less at risk of getting Death X because not as many people are running it. So it's not a bad option to play with again. Obviously, this is casual, and like I said, like we play at Kaboom. Kaboom has competitive on Friday nights, but they have casual on Mondays. Now, the other side to that, what we just mentioned was don't complain about competitive players playing a tournament scene competitively. But the other side of it is because we've seen this before from sometimes if we're in a casual format or if we're playing a casual game, you don't got to be a rule shark.
Ah.
Like you don't got to be like, no, you can't take that back. Or no, you already played that. You can't. Like we have some that play with a competitive mindset in a casual format, and I think that's what puts the negative, uh, the negative outlook on competitive players is when people don't understand where they're playing. Are you playing in a competitive scene? Or are you playing in a casual scene? If it's casual play, casual Mondays, you don't got to play super competitive unless you both agree that you're like prepping for nationals. You
Yeah.
want to play it seriously.
But
But I
even
think
then,
that's the
bro.
other thing.
Even then, when me and James and Jonathan and Angel and all those, when we were testing for Nats,
Mhm.
I would be like, "What do I do? Show him James my
Right.
hand. What do I do? Like, guide me through. What would you do?
Right.
Like, we're testing. We're trying
Yeah.
to figure things out.
Yeah, and I think
So,
that's what casual's great for. And
yeah,
it's very inviting to new players. New players are definitely intimidated by tournament scene or like if when you have new players coming up on Fridays and they just
for
get
real. Our newer
bodied.
players, man.
Yeah,
Our newer players, they're picking up the game. Sebastian
they are. Yeah.
went from EOS to Purple Red Imperial, and he's doing great. Silva, the master player, like he's doing great también. He
Yeah.
beat me when I was playing Exa, and I'm like, and that was his first tournament, and I'm like, all right, well, you got it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, we got there's some new players that are learning the game that aren't shying away from the competitive scene. They're just diving straight to the deep end
mhm.
and they're still doing well. Uh, but that's not for everybody. Some people like to play the fun stuff and they don't want to feel the pressure of a competitive scene. I I'm not saying don't show up to tournaments, but know what you're walking into. I guess is what I'm getting into. Casual versus competitive. If it's too much, if it's too feels too stressful for you, if you're not having fun, then maybe don't put yourself in that situation.
See, in that one, I don't know.
But I guess if you have another option, I should say, if you have another option other than competitive, if there's a casual, maybe you need to go to casual or work on building yourself up for the competitive if you want to be competitive. But if you still want to show up to the competitive scene, then I guess don't be so upset about. Don't let it upset you. Just know that there is a difference in play style from casual to competitive.
Okay, that's the thing. Know what you're getting
Yes,
yourself into. Like, it's not a big deal. It really isn't.
because
The thing.
knowing is half the battle.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's not a big deal. It's just okay. Like, and when when
Yeah.
when you said like going in for fun, being competitive, being casual, it's sides of the same coin. We're playing the game how we want to play, how we choose to play, and we're having fun too.
Yeah.
I told James at the highest level, it's freaking awesome.
Oh yeah.
The lowest level, this game is freaking awesome. So it's fun all around.
Totally
It's
agree.
fun. It's fun.
Yeah, from
Yep.
competitive casual, it's fun for everyone. I totally agree with that.
One
Yeah.
thing,
And I
one
mean, if there's ever new players, we're always there. If they want to ask us anything, I
yeah,
know a lot of
and
people ask me stuff during a match. Even during a match, if it's if I know they're a new player, I'll help them out.
Oh
Even
yeah.
in a tournament, like
I've seen James completely
like
guide
I'm not
friends.
gonna. Yeah, like I've lost because I've helped people out, which I'm like, no, dude, like do this. You want to do this instead because so that you can clear my board. That way, I don't do this next turn. But I explain to them, and I've
Yeah.
lost games like that before. Which I mean, I don't really care, but I try and help out, new players when they ask me or when I see that they can do something else or I feel like they do something wrong and I'm like, no, 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 you don't want to do that. And they're like, why? And I'm like, and then I explain to them and they're like, oh, okay,
Yeah, and
thanks.
se les prende el foco. Se les prende el
Yeah.
foco.
Yeah.
One thing I will say, I love our community. Community is awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we have
Oh
rivalries
yeah.
here and there, but it's awesome. I've noticed many times all of our players. I can't say all because I don't know everybody. The vast majority of our players always help out. Do you need this? Do you need that? Do you need this? Like Marco, turning player. He sold me his collection a couple of months ago. He's coming back now. Like, dude, I need this and that. I'm like, right, I don't got the money. It's fine. It's fine. You need the cards for this tournament? I'll lend you them. You pick them up when you need. Pick them up when you can. And if you can't pick them up, it's fine. Borrow them. Use them. Have fun. I just give away cards. I've been giving away SRs, $10 cards. I'm like, not. You need them? Just take it. Take it. Take it.
Same. Like the guy
Yeah.
that plays
I know James
Gallantmon.
does that for a fact. I know he does it.
Yeah.
There's a guy that when he that plays Gallantmon, I'm pretty sure you know the guy I'm talking about, Ivan.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he first started, like I was giving him all my Gallantmon stuff. I was like, hey, bro, I see you like Gallantmon. He's like, yeah. I was like, do you need any of this stuff? And I just showed him a bunch of Gallantmon X and Takiyas and stuff like that. He's like, yeah, man, thanks. And I was like, here, you can just have him, bro. It's
And that
cool.
guy's gone far.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
really close to winning tournaments, and it's like, whoa, buddy.
Yeah.
yeah, yep.
Yeah. And
And that's literally all he plays is Gallantmon. So that's his favorite Digimon. That's like he wants to play.
Let him play.
So
Let
he'll
him cook.
he'll play that until the end of until the end of time probably. I know he's
Let him
hyped
cook.
for
Let him cook.
BT12 because
oh yeah.
Galamon's getting more
Oh,
support, so
Yep.
he's hyped for that.
Oh
So
yeah.
and that's cool, man. He wants to play that by all means. He knows he's not gonna win every time,
yeah.
but
Right.
that's how the deck is right now.
Yeah. And I to what Ivan said, the the Digimon community is amazing. Everybody's awesome. Everybody's supportive. It's always been fun, and you couldn't ask for a better community. There's little rivalries here and there, little things, but overall, I think it's a healthy community. There's little, if any, toxic players. Everybody's
Ah, bro, they
pretty
left.
supportive. Yeah,
The top players left to
I
other
A
agree with you.
long time ago,
Yeah,
they left a
and
long time ago.
other TCGs that will not be named because yeah, they left. So like, we're
Yep.
good. Like, this is fun.
yeah, yeah. I totally agree. Well, any last thoughts before we wrap this up? We've been talking for a good amount. So
Format's healthy. Can't wait to go to nationals again and bring more people.
yeah, definitely.
Sure.
What you want to do? Play this game how you want to play? The 3 points we went through. I mean,
Yeah,
can't wait to come
yeah,
back. This was awesome.
yeah, yeah. Well, this is. I think we talked a lot of good topics. I think we got a good amount of talking done here for our first attempt at a podcast, and hopefully we'll have more things going forward. We'll talk about, the
I'm pretty sure
how
like
the
you could rotate people, right?
oh yeah,
Like,
yeah. We'll
bring
bring
other
in some
faces
other
in.
people. See some other faces up in here. It won't just be the three of us every time. Like I said,
Because
we'll
like you,
depend on who
we
else
have
we want to
different
bring in.
views. We have a lot of different views in our community. Like Jonathan,
Yeah,
I'm sure he would have added something completely different because he's our cross player. He would have been like, nah, like this was gonna happen. I knew this was gonna happen. Blah blah blah. So it's awesome.
yeah,
We have a lot of different
yeah.
angles.
Yeah.
A lot of different angles.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Well, let's say let's say I guess we'll wrap it up there. Thank you
Hmm.
guys for hanging. Ivan, James. Obviously great players, great competitive players, great casual players, great guys in general for the Digimon community, especially for any of the new players here in the Valley scene. Want to head out to Kaboom? I think we're all gonna play this. I'm trying to make it this Friday as long as
I'll try to make it too because my friends, I don't know. I mean, it's a two
Free
box.
box
It's a
tournament.
free 2 box
it's a
tourney. So I'm like,
two
Free
box
two
tournament
box
and it's
tourney.
free. Yeah,
I'm like, come on,
2 bucks
guys, please go,
free.
please
Yeah,
go.
so
I
I
want to
think
play
we're
all
all gonna
fours.
try to go. Yeah, so
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
all try to go. But all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna wrap this video up here and say thank you all for joining us. This is Valley Boys TCG. Hope you guys join us the next time. I'm CK. There's Ivan and
Ivan,
James.
Later.
Laters.
here.